Alrighty. Woo! Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. It is the motherfucking man that is not greedy. but, just a guy out here, call my sports show the fresh and funky plays and, plays and parlays sports show. Uh, I'm nobody special or anything of that nature. I'm just a man loves to come out here talk sports at any cost. Just kicking it. Have my opinions as I always do. Whether they're your opinions or not. That's irrelevant. Everybody has their own opinions, and should that interfere with anybody else's, that's okay. We can have a discussion even if we don't have the same point of view. That's just don't get it confused that we ain't mashing views, or I'm not trying to smash my view down you or ask you to smash my view or subscribership or telling me to make money. Because if I myself have to, you know, if I want to ascend in this world and I want to be better, then I can't just marginalize and minimize myself on a regular day basis and be around other people that will be willing to do that to you. And unfortunately, that's the society that we live in. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Can we change these things? I mean, some probably can, but some things are just out of our control. And what we're going to do, just continue to go down the same route in the same hole. But, it is Monday, the beginning of the week. So, obviously the weekend, it was a great weekend. Had a fun, enjoyable weekend to say the least. There was some amazing college football games, some disappointing ones to say the least. Same thing with the NFL here Sunday, yesterday. Some disappointing games, obviously. Some teams that did not win that should have probably won, and some teams that really need to start reevaluating the situation. Okay, and that's why on my title I put Monday Night Football. We got the Giants at home tonight, undefeated, trying to stay undefeated, trying to beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys. They're stirring off that. Dak Prescott's not there. The Cooper Rush, the Coop Rush, Coop. The Cooper Rush gang out there is in full effect, beating the Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow bounced back and had a wonderful game here against the Jets, and now they will come and play this Thursday night against the Miami Dolphins, who got a upset victory against the Buffalo Bills. And we know that was probably the game of the day. Was Bills and Dolphins was the game of the day. I mean, we saw Tua get pretty much concussed and wobbled off. Looked like he looked like a boxer that was trying to trying to still stay in the fight here. And then he went out, and Teddy Bridgewater came in, and then the start of the third quarter we saw Tua Tagovailoa out there once again. But out there in Miami, it's hot out there. It's much like California, except for it's more of a tropical sub. It's more of a sauna type hot instead of California being more generally based a arid a dry hot heat. Except for that, it is changing out here. The weather is changing. Sometimes it does feel a little more humidified. More there's more humidity because maybe the more moisture, subtropic moisture. Listen to me. I'm starting to sound like one of these meteorologists or something. Oh no, no, no. But you know, it was a tough game to say the least. I mean, obviously the Bills were frustrated. I mean, they left the field very upset. Play calling didn't get the ball down and this and that. One of their offensive coordinators busted a tablet, as the NFL is sending warning to Tom Brady and anybody else that want to break the tablets. You know, I mean, what are we doing here, guys? We're throwing we're grown men throwing temper tantrums, getting upset because we lost the game because what, you didn't get your way. You felt like you should have won the game. You felt like you got cheated somehow, and then now you want to just bust something up. You're angry. You're upset. You have frustrations, and and look what happened there down in Tampa. You had a freaking dang beehive underneath the damn goalpost. It was looking like a damn fucking need to go get the beekeeper. Go get the beekeeper out here. Go get the bees out of here. And I mean, what happens if somebody's allergic to bees? The bees get aggressive and start stinging everybody. Well, you can't very well have the game started. But needless to say, the Bills and Dolphins was an amazing game to start off the games. The afternoon games were well interesting as well. Here we had Tampa. Talk about Tampa Bay, Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. Probably the last time we're going to see Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady face off against each other, unless Tom Brady decides he doesn't want to retire and he's just going to play till he fucking dies. I mean, he does, obviously Tom Brady. Many people do or do not know Tom Brady is going through a divorce. Giselle has, this has not been, it's kind of been kind of hidden from people, but those of us kind of knew there was grumblings that she wanted him to be more with the family, and Tom just decides he wants to play football, you know. And by the way, I don't know if anybody saw his shirt where he has a picture of young Tom on the back, young Tom Brady. It says generations, last forever. I mean, if that's a sign and indication of what he wants to do and how he wants to build his brand, and I mean, what else does he really have to prove? He's got mostly all the records. Um, I don't know if he just really feels that maybe these young guys are, these young guys can, get up there, like the Mahomeses and the Josh Allenses and all that they will one day if they can stay as healthy and play out as long as Tom Brady has into his 40s. I mean, they very well have a really good shot. So I mean, I guess Tom wants to make sure that he's forever remembered as the best there was, the best there is, the best there ever will be. Now, now, on the other hand, we had a lot of really just terribly bad games yesterday, and I want to start off with and also put in my thing. Who screwed your weekend here? Was it the Kansas City Chiefs that didn't get the job done against the Indianapolis Colts? Oh yes, the Indianapolis Colts, you know, came into the contest, banged up. No Darius, aka Shaquille Leonard, their best player, and probably arguably one of the best young linebackers since Ray Lewis. Um, we got T.J. Watt. Obviously, he's hurt as well. So we got two of the arguably the best linebackers in this young generation that are basically banged up right now, and you know, we know TJ be back pretty soon. I mean, Shaquille, I don't know, maybe he was just banged up and he couldn't play. But needless to say, the Colts were at home. They played not the greatest of football. Let's just say that, but they played well enough to basically win that game. And what I mean by that was to start it off was you got this rookie kid who I was so high to raise the roof up on, Sky Moore. He's their kick returner. He fumbles and basically gift wraps the Colts a easy first play touchdown to Jalen Woods, the first touchdown to Jalen Woods, who is from the University of Virginia. But it was just, and Jonathan Taylor, he ran the ball pretty efficiently. I mean, I wouldn't say it was like he dominated, but he was efficient when he was running the ball. And obviously, Michael Pittman coming back helped a lot. But that defense here, the Colts stood up pretty well. But the Chiefs stood toe to toe. But the thing that kind of stands out with everybody in that game now is Mahomes is kind of grifting with Eric Bieniemy. And then you see obviously Andy Reid, but that's just emotions. You're gonna have your quarterback and obviously the offensive coordinator. Sometimes you're gonna have a difference of opinion. I mean, obviously you're the player, you're on the field, and you're feeling But then you're obviously the offensive coordinator on the sideline watching the game and just seeing it from a. I mean, but to me, you gotta let Patrick be Patrick at that time. I'm not saying Patrick the Starfish or fucking SpongeBob. I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes here. You gotta let Patrick Mahomes operate and be Patrick Mahomes. I mean, why else? Why else do you pay the quarterback the most money? Why else is the quarterback mostly the brains and operations got to know everybody? The quarterback's got to know the offensive lineman's assignments are. He's got to know what the receivers. He's got to know the tight end routes. He's got to know the running backs. I mean, literally, your fucking your quarterback is the fucking point guard, okay? And we all know if you don't have a point guard or a point somebody that can lead and people that can they can trust. I mean, you're seeing this week. We're going into week 4 now. After tonight, we'll be going into week 4. We got London boys. We got them jolly old London games coming up here. All my mates out there. You okay? You just go to the Terry Spur. I'm with the Terry Spur. I'm top. Rest in peace to the Queen. Rest in peace to the Queen. God save the King. There we go. Chip. All right, now that I made a complete fool of myself and probably will be banned from ever going to the fucking United Kingdom ever again. But let it be known that this Sunday will be the first of the London games, the London series games where the games will be played in London. The first game will be at Terry Hup Spurs, field, where the Terry Spurs play. Obviously, you know, British, the British, the European, yeah, soccer league here, the original football right there. But yeah, we got the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. So we'll be talking about that a little bit more as the week comes down into it. But we'll give you a little tease it right now here. Uh, Both teams played at the early window. Um, the Saints they had Alvin Kamara come back, but obviously Kamara was not the same Kamara. He still looked a little banged up out there, as proven on one of the drives they were driving. They handed Kamara the ball. He kind of got hit a little bit, coughed the ball up, gave Carolina a big opportunity to basically get some points to start the. So in a fantasy, I took out Alvin Kamara except for one team. I figured, well, I'll just and one of my good friends told me that I was probably possibly crazy, 5150. But you know what? I was right because if you look at the game that Alvin Kamara had Sunday against the Carolina Panthers, it was not very well. The Panthers defense did a very, very solid job of basically corralling him and making sure he was not going to be effective and that he was not going to beat them. That you're going to force Jameis to try to beat them, and it worked. They made Jameis have to make some plays, and he got some fumbles. There were some just, but they did try at the end to fight back. They did come within of a score, so it wasn't like the Saints just got their butts whooped on Sunday. So how will that go as far as coming into the game as the home team? Obviously, as they're going to be the home team, um, taking on the Minnesota Vikings, who also had to literally come from behind after getting basically a Monday night butt whooping to the likes of the Philadelphia Eagles, and we'll talk about the Philadelphia Eagles a little bit later on as we're going to go into this. But I'm kind of just gonna give you guys a little preview to what the London game's gonna entail here. You know, and coming into the game, I knew the Lions. Lions are you can see it. The Lions are putting it together. They got the coach that's got the right attitude to get these guys in shape and not take crap and to build guys. And They got some of these other coaching there that is coaching up these young players and these other guys, and they're buying into that. I think they're buying into it. And they're believing, and now it's starting to really show on the field. And they played one hell of a game Sunday against the Vikings. They were, they were impressive on all fronts. But there was miscues on both teams. Both teams' kickers might need to go reevaluate why you paying these guys, because both kickers missed. I believe both kickers missed two field goals apiece. Greg Jefferson, I might give him a pass because he missed two 50-yard field goals, a 56-yard field goal, and I believe a 52-yard field goal. But down the stretch, that's what killed the Lions. The Lions ended up getting the ball back, stopping the Vikings, and having a chance to kick a field goal. And so they wore some of the time down, and then their field goal kicker missed the kick, giving the Vikings ample enough opportunity to basically go down the field and get a KJ Osborne touchdown, baby. Not a Justin Jefferson, but a KJ Osborne. And most of the people would like, who the fuck is KJ Osborne? He's been the Minnesota Vikings' third wide receiver for quite so many years. He's just been, with Kirk Cousins there. He's had some games with Kirk Cousins where Kirk trusts him, and so Kirk will go to him. And so obviously Kirk did go to him on that play to win the game here, and obviously Minnesota winning 28 to 24. It bewilders me that the Vikings, but in that game we also lost Dalvin Cook. Got in his shoulder injured, so trying to, I'll learn a little bit more today in the next coming days to figure out how significant that's going to be, because that will definitely affect the game in jolly old London here. You might have to have the Alex. They might have to have the. They might have the Sir Alexander Madison to go in there and have to run down against the Saint defense. But to say the least, that's going to be a concern for the Vikings coming into that matchup. But yeah, the Vikings. I had the over. I had the over 51. And before the game, it was like 6.5 or something like that. Vikings had to win by 7, and I was just not comfortable, just because the way the Lions just fought. I mean, the Lions fought. I mean, They really dominated that game. They played really well. It's just, some miscues, a missed field goal towards the end to really put them up. That would have made it basically impossible for the Vikings to come back. And but but yeah, we got tonight's matchup here. We have the Giants and the Cowboys. Definitely looking forward to that here on both sides of the football here. We have four Major League Baseball games. This is the last week of baseball before we get into the October playoff time. So this is the last push here for the teams like the Yankees and some of these other teams, that are really, you got the Orioles today playing against the Red Sox. They really need to continue to win here to stay in the playoff contention. You have the Yankees and the Blue Jays here. Blue Jays is in the same type of boat here, trying to make a better playoff position here, and hopefully not end up you know and make it to the playoffs here with the talent they have there up in Toronto here. But the Yankees have been great here. Obviously, you know nobody's been wanting to give up the record-setting home run to Judge yet, so maybe it happens today in Toronto. Excuse me there. I had to kindly take a drink. But yeah, hopefully we get some good baseball there. Like I said, that's right. We're gonna run it down here. We're running down like we always do. Baseball here. We have the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Obviously, there's no there's no contention for either team here. Obviously, the Pirates are favored at home today to win by a run and a half on the run line. Run line is called aka the spread line. The Cincinnati Reds are plus 132 on the money line as being the underdogs. And we have the over under 7.5 runs. So right now, if you're an under like I always I'm an under. I'm not the Undertaker. I'm not here. Rest in peace, Paul Bear. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just the under guy. I mean I love an under unless it's just like, hey man, it's too low to be an under. This has got to be it. This has got to be an over. Or if it's you got two really good exciting teams that it's going to be a barn burner, a shootout, fireworks, it's going to be a back and forth. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. It's going to be all out, bedlam. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to walk out there? There might be some. You might have some people that might get wounded here, but needless to say, here the Reds and the Pirates are looking forward to next year here. Hopefully, maybe end the season on a good note here. And then we have the Atlanta Braves taking on the Nationals. Obviously, the Nationals are, they're they're basically giving away their best player, Juan Soto and a lot of other guys that they had, and just basically it is a full on rebuild in Washington for the Nationals, and they have played some good games. They have surprised some teams, and it hasn't been a wash of a season. But as far as getting to the playoffs, it was a disappointing season. So we'll obviously see what's going to happen next year. But today they're at home, so maybe they have a pretty decent showing against the Braves. But the Braves obviously here to defend their title. They are the reigning World Series champs that are going to be playing in the playoffs. So be interesting to see who they play. Obviously, they're picking up where they left off last year. Obviously now, but now the main concern for them is you have Ronald Cunha Jr. who's kind of banged up right now. So it's kind of you know there. They're kind of banged up with their bats and this and that. So does that make an effect here today or going into the you know further into the playoffs? We have the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Like I said, obviously these two teams know each other well. They play in the same division. Both teams going to be in the playoffs here. I mean, could these teams end up seeing each other? We don't know. I mean, obviously we have the Astros. Astros are obviously the number one team in the American League here, and the Yankees are number two. Yeah, yeah, they're the second best team in the American League right now. So, but definitely they have a lot of competition, so that keeps the Yankees pretty ripe. But we'll definitely see there tonight. Then we have the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox here. So, that is our game. Those are our games. I mean the Orioles and the Red Sox here. I mean should be an interesting matchup here. I mean the Red Sox are just not going to go away here, but the Orioles have been have been really tough down the stretch here, and Jordan Lyles has pitched well in his last outing, so we'll see. We'll see there. Excuse me. Obviously, we have NFL action here. We have the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. The Giants are favored by 1 on the point spread. Obviously, the Cowboys are minus 105 here on the money line. The over under is now 38.5. Now, I mean, obviously, if Dak Prescott's healthy and all that, is Michael Gallup? I mean, we're sitting here saying that that Michael Gallup, I guess. I mean, we got Dalton Schultz is kind of. Micah Parsons has an illness or cold or whatever, so I mean, obviously he'll be doing this and that. All right, hold on a second. I gotta go blow my nose for a second here. About that, blow my nose for a second here. I got as you get older, allergies and shit. Sometimes you get them, and I'm not a motherfucker that wants to pop a pill and hell, all my problems. Let me pop a pill here. Let me take this and then oh. Not gonna get on this fucking medical bullshit because I got a strike from fucking YouTube assholes before. I'm not gonna go there. Just wanted to, put a little context to what I was going on a little tirade there, but to say the least, 38 and a half here. I don't know. I mean, it's very curious to me. I think it definitely could go over tonight here. I mean, I definitely think the Cowboys and the Giants are both two teams. Giants right now, they're hoping, Kayvon Thibodeau will be able to play tonight, maybe. Maybe he gets played tonight, and if he doesn't play tonight, maybe he will play next week when they play the Chicago Bears at home. So, Giants have been, playing strong. Saquon is stayed healthy and he's efficient. Daniel Jones is as well. The defense is playing well. The coaching. It just seems like the Giants are starting to after the Ben Schmackadoo era and don't get me started on the fucking the judge the judge era, the Joe Judge era. Mister, we're gonna go quarterback we're gonna go quarterback sneak on a third and fucking the third and fucking 35. Yeah. Good job there. Good job there, big guy. Yeah, yeah. Where you at now? Oh, you're back with Belichick. You're back with Daddy Belichick, and we'll get to that one in a moment. But yeah, the Cowboys and Giants is gonna be a hell of a game. If you want my take on this here, you want my plays here, and like I said, I'm gonna put together a parlay tonight here. And last night I put a fucking hockey parlay in, but I don't know about today here. I don't know. We might just stick with the football. We might even just do a two. We might even do a 2 unit. Might even do a 2 unit movement on this football game here. And I'm gonna tell you why I feel there's obviously for me, I love the over. I love the over in this game. The over 38.5. I think both teams can play a tough game, but I think both teams can get some scores on the board. And it's like this yesterday. We had some divisional games that were really close, and there were some ones that were blowouts. Speaking of a blowout one, let's talk about the Eagles here blowing out the Commanders here. I mean, it's not like I think everybody kind of knew that the Eagles were probably going to win over the Commanders. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there were some people probably trying to hold out hope. I know my man Face, who's a long time, Washington football, and he's loved that team since it was the other name that we shall not say because we will, the bleeding heart people of this, all of a sudden people seem to think that they care when they don't give a shit, and it's only but you know, needless to say, all the diehard Washington fans, man, I mean, I mean, in a way, I mean, I feel sorry for you guys, but it's like, here you guys go again. I mean, Riverboat Ron, I think he's overstayed his welcome. I think he needs to go. They need to get Riverboat Ron out of there. Carson Wentz is not the guy. Um, you know, I just think Carson Wentz. I just don't know if he's just a broken man now. And but I mean, there's times where he's efficient and he looks good, but then it's just they just he was sacked freaking 9 times. Okay, sacked nine, nine, not nine like the German word nine like no, like nine like the number nine numeral number nine, love potion number nine. it, it was just terrible, man. I mean, I just the defense at least played tough somewhat in that game, but then when your offense doesn't put up points, man, your defense is just and it's tough, man, and that was one of the the divisional, and that was in their and then you had obviously the Vikings game was a close one. Played very, both teams played very well to the, Then you had the Buffalo Bills and the Miami game was a really tight, closely contested matchup, and even the Rams and the Cardinals was a pretty close, you know, contested matchup. So, I mean, if we're taking a microcosm of the divisional games yesterday, majority of them were pretty close, and both teams were able to put up, you know, points. And obviously, in the case of the Eagles, they just basically ran ruckshot over them, and basically, I mean, didn't really have to do too much in the second half because the Commanders didn't really do too much in the second half. It was just and so that's why I believe tonight is going to be a much closer contest. It always has been with the Cowboys and the Giants. These two teams know each other. It doesn't matter if these guys have known each other or hate each other, whatever. It's always a good matchup, and especially on Monday night, it's always a special game. And so I expect it to be, you know, a lot better than the Sunday night football game. Let's just say that Sunday night football was a Niners and Broncos. I mean, if you love defense and you don't love watching high scoring games and you just like watching like just I mean, it's like how I play Madden. I play Madden the same way that Sunday night football went out. You know, you play great defense, and the offense doesn't really. You get enough to where you keep yourself in the game to where and when you get there's an opportunity in the game that swings the door open where you can take advantage of it, and that's basically how Sunday Night Football ended. It was if there was no offense, and and it was atrocious. I mean, we had Jimmy G from the Niners, the runner, the NFC runners up that obviously came close to beating what was the last year's Super Bowl champs, the Rams, and you have the Denver Broncos, which has Russell freaking Wilson as his damn quarterback, but Nathaniel Hackett is just I don't know. I'm really as far as all the new coaches have been concerned. I love what Miami, Mike McDaniel's. I mean, he's looking like a fucking genius down there. Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings is doing well. I mean, we have coaches playing well, and just hey, look at the Giants for instance. I mean, we got the Jaguars. Of all Jaguars thumped the Chargers, and who would have thought? And they just let Justin Herbert. I understand he guy wants to compete and this and that, but you got a rib injury, and your team was just not being efficient with him in there, and it was just and people think, well, it's just because the Jaguars, oh, it's because Herbert and them weren't healthy. It didn't matter. The Jaguars went out there and play. They had a game plan, and they executed it. Trevor Lawrence and then the offense was able to, they were running the ball efficiently enough. Trevor was able to pass the ball efficient enough and get in the end zone and put three passing touchdowns in the end zone. And then their defense really has, it has surprised me, and they're a sneaky sleeper defense. Many people are not going to buy into the Kool-Aid and buy into it right now. Oh, Jacksonville, no, no, no. I'm buying into them. I'm buying into that defense right now. If I have to take a, not so high top tier defense right now and ride them out for the rest of the season, I'll ride it with the Jaguars. I'd ride with the Jaguars right now because the Jaguars are doing everything right, getting pressure, getting some sacks, doing coverage, getting some interceptions as well, mixing up that coverage. I mean, they're really responding and they're really showing that hey, you know, we're a team, we're for real, we're leading the we're leading the freaking we're leading the AFC South here, and nobody would have thought that. If anybody would have told you by week 4 that the Jacksonville Jaguars would be freaking 3-1 and be leading the AFC South, you'd call me crazy. You would call me crazy. But no, I'm buying the Jacksonville Jaguars defense as for real. All right, so let's get into making our parlay bet here today here. So I like I like the over 38.5 points here in this Cowboys and Giants game. Um, and for me, I'm gonna ride it with the home team here. I'm gonna take the Giants. This is my this is part of the parlay here, and I'm selling my 2 unit play here. I'm taking the Giants at home minus the 1, and I'm taking the over 38.5. I just think the Giants this year they're playing a different brand of football, and the Cowboys are playing competitive here, and if they can get Michael Gallup back here tonight, but Giants are just playing a different brand of football right now. and I think they really bought into what their coaching's saying, and I think and here's a spot here for Daniel Jones to you know showcase himself and for Saquon to showcase himself as well. You know, so look for maybe Daniel Jones to have at least over 200 yards passing here, maybe even having Saquon even having a close to a 100-yard game and a touchdown. And I mean the Giants defense, I like it here, but um, my concern for the Giants though is if they allow Micah Parsons to wreak havoc. And I think and I believe Micah Parsons is going to make or break whether the Cowboys are going to be able to have some opportunity or not. If Micah Parsons gets null and voided here tonight, and he's kind of rectified, nullified, he's not even a factor here tonight, and it has to be relied on, like let's say Trayvon Diggs and that secondary, uh, and the rest of those guys on Dallas. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Leighton Vander Esch, he's kind of like a carbon copy of what Sean Lee used to be. You know, he's when he's banged up and he's not efficient. He's playing well alongside Micah Parsons, and so to me, can Cooper Rush continue to do what he did last week and not turn the ball over, be pretty efficient, get out there and you know make some completions, hit the receivers, make sure Zeke's going to be able to run the ball a little bit, get Tony Pollard would change the pace a little bit here, and even Cooper Rush has a little, he has a little bit of, he can move a little bit here too as well. So that's what I kind of see there. If they can keep that rolling and their defense can wreak havoc, I think the Cowboys have a really good chance here. But obviously the Giants are going to have to deal with that Micah Parsons, which they probably already have a sort of plan. But when you're dealing with players of that caliber, Micah Parsons, he is like that type that's you better plan for him, because their defense, they're going to put him everywhere around. They're going to move him around here. They put him here and there. They're going to move him around because they know that, hey, okay, if we just keep him in this whatever, they're gonna figure it out eventually, and then we're gonna be stuck. And if we're not used to moving him around and putting him, and he's not comfortable in certain situations, then. But I still believe that Giants have what it takes to win at home here. They've proven that. And this is the first. If they can get this win here, this will be the first pivotal move to trying to be able to fight for the division title again. Get back to those days where like when Eli was where the Giants were competitive here, and Cowboys obviously trying to stay competitive until Dak Prescott comes back here, and you know and then we'll see then. I mean, they say it's not as bad as whatever this and that. I mean, they better hope he better be like I mean, when he's whatever, he better be trying to I wouldn't say trying to hold and grip a ball or whatever, but he's gonna have to start before he gets out. Feel how comfortable that's gonna be in your hand, because your thumb is very important. Most people think, oh, well, no, your thumb is important for a lot of purposes and reasons. And when this thing isn't 100% to where it is, you're gonna be like, your grip's not gonna be the same as far as because then you're gonna be like, it's gonna hurt when you're. And like I said, I mean, I don't have too much experience except for playing when I was younger. Didn't amount to anything. Didn't go to high school level. Didn't go to college levels. Didn't play. Watched. I played my fair share of this and that. But watching the game and understanding that guys get hurt out there, and it's not like guys are intentionally going out there to get injured dudes and this and that. I mean, hey, you're going out there to try to prove that hey, you're the best at your position, and you're top of you're top flight, and the guys are trying to get out there, get paid. You're not getting paid to be a dirty people, but hey, maybe some guys are doing that type of shit. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just like people in our lives and in our society. There's people that just don't care. They don't want to get a job. They rather just take whatever somebody else has and just say fuck it. Yeah, fucking watch it burn. Haha. You deserve that. And they just laugh in your face. But yeah, we're taking the over 38.5. We're taking the Giants minus the 1 on the spread here. So let's pop up our little handy dandy. All right, let's see. And again, parlay here. 9.6 here. Yeah, Giants. And Giants minus 1 on the spread here. Minus 110. And then we have the over 30.5 points in the Cowboys and Giants. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna go look at this baseball game here, and 7.5 here. I mean, for these two teams, I mean, maybe 7 runs do solidify here, but I doubt it here. Then we're gonna go look to see. We're gonna see what the teams. I mean, you got the Reds. The Reds are 60 and 93 here, and you got the Pirates are 56 and 97. So both teams, give or take, and both teams are the same record. Pirates are 29 and 46 at home, and the Reds are 29 and 46 on. Oh man. Oh well, the Braves are raising. Reds scored 2 against the Brewers. Pirates scored 3, and the Cubs were able to get 8 here. So interesting. Hmm. I mean, 7.5 bad here. It's not a bad number here. I mean, you know what? We'll take the under 7.5 here. We'll take the under 7.5. I mean, then we have the Braves. We have the Braves and the Nationals here. I don't like the over 9.5 here. Let's take the Nationals here. We'll take the Nationals plus the 1.5. Say that they cover that here, maybe. All right. We have the We have the Yankees and the Blue Jays here. Everino and Gosman here. Um, all right, so if we take the Yankees money line and we take the Orioles money line here, that puts us at 65 here. We got the New York Islanders and the Rangers today. We got the Blues and the Stars. We got Edmonton and the Kraken here. We got the Kraken. The Kraken. Maybe we pick the St. Louis Blues here on the money line here. That would bump us up too. All right, we'll throw the Blues in there. Here's my free play there. All right. All right, so write it down here. All right, so we got that one. All right. So we're doing the under 7.5 runs. It's 127. Yankees here. Yankees money line. Plus 101 here. Then we have the Orioles, the dang birds here. Birds better not fuck my parlay here. That damn birdie birds. Better beat them fucking Red Sox here. And then the St. Louis Blues here. Better fucking hockey bullshit. Better not fuck my bet here. St. Louis Blues money line here. All right. We got a dollar here. We risk a dollar here, and we'll cash out at. All right. So we'll get 142. And $142.76 here. And we're taking the Giants to win by a point. We're taking the over 38.5. We're taking the under 7.5 runs in the Reds and Pirates. We're taking Nationals to cover the run and a half. We're taking the Yankees money line, and we're taking Orioles money line, and we're throwing in the St. Louis Blues to win money line. So that takes us at 7 legs at a dollar. That dollar will turn into $142.76 if the 7 teams that we picked cover their end of the parlay leg. So yeah, we hopefully we gonna definitely win definitely win here tonight here. Um, let's look at the game here tonight here. Let's look at them. Let's look at some props here. Let's look at the prop bets here. Also we have a prop bet that me and my sister put together here. So we have a prop bet here. Put her up. Get the prop bet there. Get the prop bet. Get the prop bet. All right. Let's see here. All right. If CeeDee Lamb gets a touchdown, plus 100, plus 170 here. Dalton Schultz, Daniel Bellinger here, plus 550. Darius Slade, David Sills, the plus 600 right there. You got Jake Ferguson here. You got Kenny Galladay, Matt Breida, Noah Brown, Richie James. I mean, obviously Saquon's got to score. So yeah, I mean, over under Daniel Jones gets 100 yards here. I mean, and same thing for Cooper Rush, 210. Not too bad. Not too bad. Let's go as far as let's see what about passing completions. Let's see what the over under is. Over under 19 and a half completions for Cooper Rush. Over under 18 and a half for Daniel Jones. So I mean, those aren't too bad. Those aren't too bad of numbers actually for either one. I mean, really, it all depends here. I mean, if one of these teams gets behind, they're gonna have to throw the ball. But and that's what I'm saying. So passing TDs here. Let's see. Obviously, Cooper Rush to have over 1.5 plus 171 right now, and Daniel Jones to have. So yeah, so pretty decent ones here. All right. Let's look at the rushing yards here. Obviously, they got Cooper Rush here over 4.5 yards. Daniel Jones over 25.5. Zeke over 61.5. Saquon over 78.5. And Tony Pollard over 40.5. Well, you take it either over, or you can take it under. Obviously, certain ones are more prevalent than others here, but yeah. So that is the games here. Those are the games here that are gonna be played today here. Obviously, we ran them down. We'll run them down again here so that everybody. We have baseball here today. We got a game starting at 3:30.
Plan A didn't work out. Get Plan B one step. Plan B helps prevent.
Shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut the fuck up. You and your fucking sorry ass ads. Fucking ESPN and fucking everywhere else. We got the Reds and we have the Pirates at obviously at 6:35 Eastern, but 3:35 West Coast time. So basically here, and a little shortly in about 2 hours and a half here. And then we have the Braves and the Nationals. We have the Yankees and Blue Jays, and we have the Orioles and the Reds. We have Giants at home today, taking the Dallas Cowboys. Monday night showdown here, as it always is. Oh, before I get off and they are getting rid of the Pro Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. Here, so ladies and gentlemen, there will be no more NFL Pro Bowl. They're taking it out, and they're going to have a skills competition and a flag football type game. So yeah, NFL ends Pro Bowl, turns into a skills flag football competition. All right, so all right, so all right, so let's get some news and notes here before we get out of here as well. Here, uh, Mike McDaniel says that Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa not in the concussion protocol here, and and sources close to the Chargers right now here say that young offensive tackle from last year, Rashad Slayton has a feared. They fear he has torn biceps now, and he's feared that he will probably end up missing the rest of the season. So, how does that affect the Los Angeles Chargers going forward now? So, NFL ends the Pro Bowl, turns it into a skills competition and a flag football. I mean, is that what we're going to be looking forward to in the NFL? These guys aren't going to play football anymore. They're going to play flag football, and then they just don't have to worry about being hurt or injured or anything of that nature. And and might as well put two-hand touch. Make it two-hand touch, like just kids. Make it all safe for everybody. But we all know that. But nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's safe. You know. All right. So sources say around the Detroit Lions that DeAndre Swift is week to week now with a shoulder sprain, which may affect him. Playing, may not. He was banged up coming into the game against the Vikings, and they didn't really. They used more of a Jamal Williams, so Jamal Williams will be more heavily relied on. Swift will be. They'll put Swift in there, but he's just going to be limited now that he's hurt. They don't want him to. They don't want obviously have him out for a long period of time because that would really hurt them at the running back position. Obviously, the 49ers have a running back shortage at the moment. So I wouldn't see why they wouldn't try to go out and get one of these other running backs that got cut or whatever. Sources are saying Michael Gallup. Oh, they're saying Michael Gallup will he make his return. Sources say Gallup won't make return for Monday Night Football here. Okay, we'll have to get more confirmation as the game gets closer. And Patriots, Mac Jones likely has a high ankle sprain. Well, even with a high ankle sprain, that's gonna be tough for him to plant and everything else. So I mean, do we see the Brian Hoyer or do we say the Blaine? Can we say Blaine Zippy? Bailey Zippy? The OC slams headset tablet as Bills drop first game. Yeah. Justin Fields bottoms out despite win. He played like trash. Yeah, I mean he had like a 77 passer rating. He was just Justin Fields not good. But if he can be on the Jalen Hurts track, Jalen Hurts seems to be a little bit better than he was last year. I'm not gonna say that I'm totally sold that Jalen Hurts has turned it all around and now he's gonna, his career's gonna be better. But I think, it helps having, you know, a strong defense, helps having other playmakers around him. Obviously AJ Brown, obviously Devontae. They got all these other guys. Quaz Watkins is another guy part of that here. Helps in the receiving core. Dallas Goddard. That there's no pressure of having Zach Ertz there, so Goddard can ball out, and same thing with the other young tight end they have there. So and then the running backs, they're running back by committee. They love each other in there, and they'll run. And Jalen Hurts will run on his occasion. That way, But if Justin Fields can get onto that type of level and start turning it around, I think things are bright for the future of the Bears. But I don't know. I'm not sold on Justin Fields right now. I'm really not doubting him, but I just want to say that it's he's not a quarterback that it's almost like a Carson Wentz type of deal. So, all right, hopefully Aaron Judge might hit the record-breaking home run tonight here in Toronto, which would be awesome. But yeah, so we're gonna be signing out here now. We've been on for an hour and 6 minutes here talking about sports, our bets, and this and that. So we'll be back tomorrow with the aftermath of Monday Night Football. We're going to preview week 4, talk about the Bengals and Dolphins coming up Thursday night here, talk some college football matchups here. We'll talk about our fantasy football, players to pick up and what is our fantasy season looking like. So this is fresh and funky Playz and Parlayz here, sports show here. Hopefully you will be better and not bitter. Hopefully it doesn't matter if you win your parlays or not. And hopefully if you are out there gambling, please gamble responsibly and don't be like these other stupid politicians that bring out these lying ass ads and saying that this is the reason why this and that's. It's all fucking lies. They're lying to people because they rather not tell the fucking truth and they just rather blame something else than rather blame themselves for taking self responsibility when they took the job and they were supposed to do their job right, but now they want to blame something else because they couldn't do the job. They can't hack it. But other than that, keep your head up. Fucking try to live the best life you can and be better and not bitter. And I'm out.